Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this 4-week mentorship. It's a masterclass. It's going to cover quite a bit of topics. And if you click on the link that you click to get through to this meeting, somewhere in there, you will see where it says meeting agenda. If you click on that link, it will open this same agenda for you. So you should be able to see the agenda. But even if you don't click that, I've actually posted the agenda here. We will just go through it one at a time. There is a lot to cover, and definitely we cannot finish covering this tonight. So we will go as far as we could, and then the other ones we don't cover today, we will cover them next week. And then whatever we couldn't cover next week, we cover it the week after. And hopefully by the 4th week, we should have been able to cover everything. And as we are progressing, there will be opportunities for people to ask questions, and there will be opportunities for a live demonstration of some processes. For example, how to create a stock tracker or create a stock portfolio using stock analysis. And there are some other tools you can use to create a stock tracker or stock portfolio. There are other tools you can use to analyze your stocks before you buy your stocks. So again, there will be live demonstration of how to buy stocks using a limit order and how you can check the playbook, which shows you offer price and the bid price. So there will be a lot of live demonstrations, and unfortunately, whoever hasn't joined before we get there, that's just unfortunate for them. Okay, so we're starting from the beginning, and number one on the topic is the welcome and the house rule. Again, you're all welcome. Please try to avoid background noise or where people will distract you. Try to avoid anywhere people will distract you or background noise. And again, we should try to make it a bit of interactive, though I will cover some topics, but then while I'm covering the topics, I may ask questions or ask you to participate. So please participate. Don't let us make it boring, by which means I will just be the one talking for the next 1 hour or 2 hours. So there will be time for you to interact or to participate. Please do. And if maybe as I'm going along, you have a relevant question to the topic that I'm discussing, then that's fine. You can call my attention and ask your question, because sometimes it may be, if you leave it too late, we may have gone past that topic, and then it's not easy to start asking a question when we have gone past that topic. Okay. Okay. So we're starting from the very, very basic foundation. Somebody who wants to invest in the stock market in Nigeria. This meeting is about investing in the stock market in Nigeria, investing in the money market. Money market covers a federal government savings bond, mutual fund, treasury bill, and some other types of investment. It covers that. Again, in Nigeria, you can invest in high income savings accounts. And that's where you find the likes of PiggyVest, Ladder, and there are some other companies like that runs high interest savings account. And they do give you generous interest, which the commercial banks, the standard banks, which they will never give you. For example, PiggyVest will give you 16% interest. But no commercial bank, no high street bank will ever give you 16% interest on your savings account. So it's good to put your money where it can grow. And in recent time, there is a term I've used on the smart investor Telegram group. There is a term I've been using quite a bit in recent time, and I've always been saying investing requires strategy. You need to have a strategy, because if Mr. A and Mr. B are given 100,000 naira to invest, and one person does not have any strategy, he doesn't know how to check which stocks to include in his portfolio, and you just invest your 100,000 naira. And then there is another person who is strategic, who knows how to check which stocks he should include. That person who has a strategy, who is an intelligent investor, who is a smart investor, that person's 100,000 naira will actually yield a better return on investment. That means the value of that money will grow much more than the other person who is just a speculator or a trader, or somebody who is just guessing which stock to buy. And again, the person who has strategy, the person who understands the market, they will get more dividend on their money. Two people can invest 100,000 naira in the stock market. One may be getting dividend of about 10,000 naira at the end of the year. And another one may be getting maybe dividend of about 4,000 naira, even though they have invested the same amount of money. But because of their knowledge, one will get more dividend and the other will get a low amount of dividend. And where this strategy and knowledge comes through is, again, knowing which kind of stocks to invest into. Because, again, give two people 100,000 naira each, and both of them buy stocks. One person will wait till the end of the year before they get dividend, whereas the other person who is strategic, who is intelligent, who has done more research, will invest in stocks that will pay them dividend, maybe 3 times in a year, 4 times in a year. Right. There are stocks like that are paying dividend 2 times in a year. There are stocks that are paying dividend 3 times in a year. And there are stocks that are paying dividend 4 times in a year. So don't just invest your money anyhow. Don't just listen to the market noise. Do your own due diligence. Ask relevant questions. To be honest, sometimes the kind of question people ask on the Smart Investor Telegram platform, I just smile, because people are not really asking core questions. They are not asking serious questions. Sometimes somebody will say, which stock should I buy? Or somebody will see a stock which is being hyped and say, oh, this stock is good, everybody is talking about it, should I buy it? They are not asking, can you show us how to use stock analysis to analyze our stocks? Can you show me where I can find information about payment dates for dividend? Instead of asking, when is JITCO going to pay dividend? Why not ask, can you show me where I can find that information? A lot of people they prefer to be dependent instead of them learning how to be independent. And when you are dependent for too long, you're not really benefiting. You may be a member of the platform, but you are not really benefiting, because sometimes you may want to do something and you may ask questions. on the platform, and I may not be available to provide the answer on time. So that means if you just use your own initiative, you may end up making a wrong decision, or you may end up listening to somebody who doesn't know what they are doing, and then you just follow the crowd's suggestion. So it's quite it's important for people to ask the right questions. And again, we should avoid distraction. Topics that does not relate to investing, we shouldn't really bother about it. Or maybe things to do with politics or what is happening in Nigeria, something that does not relate to investing. We shouldn't really be asking that question on the platform. Maybe we should discuss that somewhere else. Okay, so we're going to number 2 on the topic, and that's the issue of identity documents that you need to get in order to have a smooth experience in your investment journey. It is very essential for people get your documents right first. Whether you live in Nigeria or you live in diaspora, wherever you live in the world, as long as you have your documents handy, as long as you have gotten all your Nigerian documents, you can do your investment from any part of the world and everything will go smoothly. But even if you live in Nigeria and you haven't got all your documents in place, you will be struggling. Sometimes, yes, you may be able to scale through some registrations and some things, but at some other times, the registration may be very stringent and tougher, and they are trying to verify who you are. They run checks on your documents. So if, for example, the phone number on your BVN, you don't use it anymore, you now have a new phone number, you won't be able to do some registration, because when they ask you to put in your BVN, they are not asking you to put your BVN for fun. They run checks on it like they do in UK, US, but people don't know that the digital space in Nigeria has actually advanced more than before. It's no longer physical verification. There are many, many things you can do online without going into anybody's office. In the past, when you want to buy shares, you go to the stockbroker's office, you register manually, or maybe you phone them and you give them instruction to register you and help you buy stuff. But who does that these days? Nobody goes to stock registrars, to stockbrokers' office to register and buy stocks. You buy your stocks by yourself directly online from the comfort of your room or from the comfort of your house, wherever you are in the world. You don't need to be in Nigeria to be able to buy stocks or to be able to do business in Nigeria. You can be anywhere in the world, but you need your documentation to be complete. So these documents I've listed here, they are very, very important. If you don't have them, I will encourage you to start processing them. Even if you have already started investing and you don't have any problem now, it will still be a good idea for you to register and get all these documents I've listed here. Don't wait until something will happen and then you will now discover that, oh, the information on your BVN does not match the information on your NIN. The address on your driver's license is different from the address on your PVC. Don't wait until something, box you into a corner and you couldn't make progress on a registration you are trying to do. So very, very essential, register for BVN. And when to be honest, amongst all the documents listed here, the most important is your BVN. followed by your NIN. There is nothing you can do in Nigeria now without your BVN and your NIN. If you want to open a bank account, if you don't have NIN, they won't open a bank account for you. And if you don't have a BVN, the same thing. If you don't have a BVN, no, they can't open a bank account for you if you don't have NIN. And now, your BVN and your NIN number, they are also written into your Nigerian passport. So that tells you the importance of BVN and NIN. And that also tells you why you should be very careful when you fill those forms for the BVN. If you put a middle name in your BVN, that means you've put your first name, you've put your middle name, and you've put your surname or your last name. The same name should be used when you register for your NIN. Because if you have a middle name in your BVN and you don't have a middle name in your NIN, at some time in point, you will have problem. Because if they ask you to produce two documents and one have a middle name, the other doesn't have a middle name, there will be problem. There are some people I've helped in the past, they bought shares in the days when everything was being done manually, and they've lost track of the shares. But the government is generous enough to say, okay, you can track your shares, get your shares back, and claim for your dividend in arrears. Dividend they've not paid to you for like 10, 15 years ago. You can claim back everything. But you need documents to be able to prove that you are who you say you are. And one of the documents they are going to ask for is your BVN. So now let's say, for example, when you bought your shares years ago, you did not use middle name. And when you now register for BVN, you put in a middle name. It's going to be difficult for them to match the information on your BVN with the name on the shares you bought 20 years ago, because they will be telling you it's not the same person just because there is a middle name on one and there is no middle name on the other. So you have to be extremely careful. All your documents must have your names in the same way. If you are not going to be using middle name, don't use it on any of your documents. If you are going to be using middle name, use it on all your documents. If you move from one address to another address, update all your record. There is no point having one address on your driver's license and then having a different address on your PVC. Again, you're just creating unnecessary stress or hassle for yourself. So these documents are very, very important. Your Nigerian mobile number is also important, because the moment you register a mobile number on your BVN, you have to ensure that that mobile number, you always keep it up to date. Never lose it. Don't stop using it. Because if you need to quote your BVN number and then they decide to send you a code to verify who you are, they will send the code to the phone number that you registered on your BVN. And if you have stopped using that phone number, then you cannot see the code they send to you. And if you cannot see the code and click on it or quote that code, then your registration ends there. You cannot proceed with that registration. So it's very, very important that you take your documentation very seriously, very seriously. So BVN, NIN, PVC, Nigeria mobile number, dedicated email address. Again, you may have 3 or 4 or 5 different email addresses, but have one that you use for business, and always quote the same email address for anything that has to do with a business or investment, so that all those information goes into one. You are not, logging into different email addresses to find out where the organization you are trying to communicate with, where they have sent their reply to. Have one dedicated email address. Nigerian passport. I've spoken to some people in the past and they are saying, oh, I'm not planning to travel now. I'm not going abroad. Whether you go abroad or you don't plan to travel abroad, there is nothing stopping you from getting your Nigerian international passport. You don't even know when the opportunity will come up for you to travel abroad. So if opportunity comes up for you to travel abroad and you don't have your international passport ready, do you think they will wait for you to go and apply for international passport? No. You have to be prepared. You have to be ready. You have to be ready. Driver's license, even if you don't have a car, that shouldn't stop you from applying for a driver's license. Do the test and everything. Get your driver's license. Even if you don't have a car, get your driver's license. Okay. So just in a summary, the names on each document must match exactly the names on the other documents. The address on all documents must be exactly the same. It is very important that you keep the mobile number on your BVN account up to date, and it should be the same phone number on your NIN and other documents. All your documents must have matching information. Okay, so before I go to the third topic, does anybody have a question before we move away from identity documents?
Uh, all you said is duly noted. But I just want to add something regarding the document you were mentioning now. I had a problem before when it comes to email address. I had an email address I was using back in Nigeria for more than 20 years. But I lost the email address because I was not sending email out of the email address. The email address was not active. So the email address was closed down. I couldn't use it again. And everything I've been doing for over the years, I was using that particular email address. So my advice now, or to add on to what you said, is anybody that have an email address, make sure that email address is active. That you always send that message from the email address, you receive message from the email address. You can use your other email address to write yourself just to keep that email active. Because once you lose that email, you cannot retrieve it back.
Yes, you are definitely correct. In fact, sometimes I use my email address to back up information. For example, I can scan all my identity documents and email it to myself as a backup, so that if you lose any of your documents, you can go into your email and then bring out a copy, and that copy can be used to process a new or a replacement identity document. So you should make use of your email address. You can use it to back up your document. And again, the one way or the other, there will always be emails going into that email address. Even if you don't send anything to yourself, even if it is junk mail they are sending to you, just go there, read it, delete it. You have to log in. That's the important thing. You have to log in. And if all you have in there is a junk mail, okay, fine. Delete the junk mail, but log in and come out.
Yeah,
Maybe one.
but
Sorry.
you have to send out email. You have to send
All
out email
right.
once. Like Gmail
Oh,
now. Gmail, there's a law in Gmail. If you don't send that email within 3 months or 180 days, they will disable your account. So you have to send that
right.
email for me at least once in a year or once in a while. Just
Right.
send out email and reply.
And that timing is quite generous enough if they are asking you to send one email in 6 months. That's generous enough. Because again, if you don't send out email at least once in a month, then it means you are not really using that email address. So I believe other people have heard what that gentleman said, and everybody has learned something from it. Thank you very much for your opinion. Again, this is why I said we need to be interactive. No, there is no one person that has monopoly of knowledge. I don't know it all. You don't know it all. So sometimes in a session like this, we all learn. And I too also learn during a session like this. So thank you very much. So anybody else have anything you want to say before we move away from identity documents? Does anybody have anything to say? Okay, so if nothing else, then we move to number 3, classes of assets you can invest into. Now, I know most people's focus is on the capital markets, that is stocks and share. That is where most people's focus is. And there is no doubt about it. The capital market gives you the highest return on your money, more than any other classes of assets. But you shouldn't put all your money in the stock market alone. When you are starting out, you should have an idea of the level of portfolio you want to build. And I think I need to give you how do I put this? Okay, so when we talk about your stock portfolio actually includes only your stocks and shares. You buy Gitco, you buy Zenith, you buy Dangote Cement. That is your stock portfolio. But when we are talking of your investment portfolio is an all-encompassing portfolio. It's the bigger picture, and you should always keep your eyes on the bigger picture. Don't keep your eyes on just your stock portfolio alone. You should be thinking of your investment portfolio. So which means your investment portfolio will include your stocks. It will include your investment in the money market, your investment in the high interest savings account, your investment in a private pension or your workplace pension, your investment in a real estate, whether you buy land or you build houses, your investment in other businesses and anything else. So your investment portfolio is the bigger picture, and that's where you should be focusing on. But it's a good idea to start with the capital market, stocks and shares, because that will give you a good traction. It gets you, it gets you going much quicker. You can get better returns. But if, let's say, for example, your decision is maybe you want to build a portfolio of maybe 10 million naira. Everybody's circumstance is different. So you should be able to sit down and think, okay, how old am I now? What job am I doing? Maybe over the next 10 to 15 years or 20 years, depending on what your age is, depending on how long you want to take to build your investment portfolio. You should be looking at all those things and then decide how big do you want your investment portfolio to be. If your decision is that you want to build an investment portfolio of maybe 10 million naira, or maybe 5 million naira, or maybe 2 million naira, depending on your circumstance, then you now have to decide what percentage of my investment portfolio is going to be in stocks and shares. What percentage of my investment portfolio is going to be in money markets? What percentage is going to be in high interest savings account or pension? So if your decision is to have investment portfolio of about maybe 10 million, then you can decide about 40% of your portfolio will be in stocks and shares. So that means you are planning to build your stocks and shares to 4 million naira. The remaining 6 million naira, you can share it out. Maybe about 2 million naira will go to investment in the money market. And in the money market, you don't have to invest in everything in the money market. You can select just one or two. For example, in the money market, you might decide to choose only federal government savings bond, or you might decide to choose money market mutual fund alone, or you might decide to choose equity mutual fund, or you might decide to choose treasury bill, or maybe a little bit of a federal government savings bond, a little bit of money market mutual fund, and then maybe about 20% of your capital will be invested in the money market. Maybe 10% might go into high interest savings accounts. And like I said, high interest savings accounts are things like the money you put in a piggy vest, ladder, and some other companies like that. And you do need those kind of savings. You do need it. Like I said at the beginning, the interest rate you get from investing your money or for putting your money into high interest savings account, the interest you get is far, far more than what the commercial banks will give you. So you should be taking advantage of this high interest savings account. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they underutilize private pension. If you are working in an organization, let's say you are working in a government organization, they will have a pension program and you can join it. That's good. There are some private organizations you can work with, and they also have pension program. That's also good. But if you are working in an organization that does not have in-house pension program, you have to plan for your future life, and you can easily invest in private pension. And this private pension, it works exactly like the pension that a government organization would have arranged for you. So if you need a private pension, banks like JITCO, they do run private pension for people who maybe you have your own private business you are running. You don't even work for anybody, you work for yourself, and you want to invest in a pension program. Banks like JITCO or Stanbic, they have a department or a section. They have a section, maybe they refer to as pension managers, and they can run that private pension for you. And their private pension is actually quite very flexible. And you only put money into it as and when you can afford it. They don't force you that, oh, you must put in money every month. No, especially with the one with Stanbic, which I'm familiar with. You put money as and when you can afford it. And whatever you put there is what you will meet in future. And it is the amount that will generate the interest for you. With Stanbic IBTC pension managers, on their website, on their pension website, they have a calculator that you can use to kind of play around and see, okay, what if over the next 10 years, I put in about 10 million naira. So 10 years from now, if I retire, the 10 million naira that I put in, how much will my 10 million naira be worth? How much will they now pay me as pension every month? There is a pension calculator on the website of Stanbic IBTC. I will encourage you, go and play with it, see how it goes. If it is something you want to do, why not do it? Get started. And one advantage of this pension program is that any money you put in there, it stays in there for a longer time. It's not somewhere you put money today, you take it out tomorrow. You put money today, you take it out tomorrow. Or you put money and then at the end of the month, they are now paying you back. No, it's a long-term investment. You can run it for 10 years, 15 years, depending on whatever you want or whatever your age is. The longer your money stay invested, the more profit you will get. And if you build a reasonable level of pension portfolio, then when you are ready to retire, you get reasonable money back. And the system is that when you are ready to retire, you have a right to ask for 25% lump sum cash. So let's say you've built up a portfolio of maybe about 20 million naira. When you are ready to retire, you can tell them, okay, give me 25% of the money. That's a 5 million naira. They pay you 5 million naira cash. The remaining 15 million naira, they spread it out. And then they might say, okay, every month we will pay you, I don't know, maybe 50,000 naira, maybe 100,000 naira, depending on how that works out. When they do the calculation, they will tell you how much they will pay you every month, and you get that money for the rest of your life. There is nothing as good as getting to the age of 55 or 60, and then you choose to retire, and your private pension is now sending 100,000 naira to you every month. That is 100,000 naira you don't have to go out and work for. Whether there is what's it called? Whether people are rioting in town, whether there is a stay at home, whether the price of petrol goes up or down, you've done the investment. You have done the investment, and if what they have told you they will pay you per month is 100,000 naira, that 100,000 naira will get into your bank account every month. And that 15 million naira remaining, remember I said, if you built up a portfolio of about 20 million naira, and I'm just using that as an example, you don't have to build up portfolio of 20 million naira. Your portfolio could be 5 million, it could be 10 million, it could be 50 million. But, for explanation's sake, let's say you build up a portfolio of 20 million naira, and you ask for 25% lump sum cash. They've given you 5 million. Your money remains 15 million. That 15 million naira, they've told you how much they will give you every month. It's not like they will just keep your 15 million naira idle and be giving you money. No, your 15 million naira will continue to work for you and will continue to generate additional interest. That is why they can pay you for the rest of your life. Because if you collect all your money and you hold on to your 15 million naira, that 15 million naira, even if you spend it 10,000 naira every month, it's possible you will exhaust it at some time in point. But once you've taken your 25% cash lump sum, the remaining is still invested, and they will pay you whatever amount they agree with you every month. Okay, so that's just about pensions. Real estate. Real estate is also a good one to invest into because, again, even though many people focus on stocks and shares, they focus on the money market, they focus on high interest savings account. These are paper assets. Your money in stocks and shares in a money market, these are paper assets. Real estate is a physical asset. If you buy land, you can see the land. If you buy stocks, you cannot really see the stocks. You can only watch some movement on the internet, on the stockbroker website or wherever you watch it, but you cannot touch your stocks. Is your stocks are not something physical you can touch. So it's good to have investment in physical assets. And one of the good physical assets you can invest into is real estate. And a lot of people, they misconstrue real estate to mean only property. Oh, unless you build a house, you are not investing in real estate. No, your investment can be in land. You buy land, in one part of Nigeria, you buy in another part, even in one area. For example, if you live in Lagos, you can buy land in maybe Ikorodu. You can buy another one in Mowe. You can buy another one maybe Ijebu-Ode. You are still into real estate. Even though it's just land, you are not building any property, but you are buying land. You are investing into real estate. And whether you buy land or house is good, but especially if you are buying land, the land always appreciates in value. Your land will always appreciate in value. You buy land today, maybe you buy it for maybe 500,000 naira. Give it 1 year, at least maybe about 20% appreciation will go on top of the money you paid. And sometimes it may even be more. It may even be more. There are times I've bought land and within 2 years, the price has doubled. So which means you buy a land for about 300,000 and in less than 2 years, they are already selling land at 600,000 in the same location. There are times you can buy land for 1 million naira and within 1 year, they will start selling land in the same location at 1.8 or even 2 million. So land is a very good investment. But if you do buy land, please do proper documentation. Do proper documentation. Get your survey, get your title deed. Most likely, get a solicitor to help you check that you are buying from a reputable person, not just from an individual or from somebody who claims to represent a family. You don't want to get involved in family land. There are many organizations out there today, land developers and some small private companies that are selling land. They are well organized. They get you all your documentations properly. Those are the kind of people you should be buying land from, so that in future, there is no case of omonile or anything. And if you do buy land, just keep an eye on your land. You don't really have to build on it, but just keep an eye. Maybe once in a while, get somebody to cut the grass. If it is possible, if you know somebody who is related to you or a reasonable person and they want to use the land, let them use it. If you are not ready to build it, let them use it. It's even better if you find somebody who can use it. And if there is nobody to use it, that's okay. It's not compulsory. It's not compulsory, but just keep an eye on it. If you have the money, fence the land. Do a fence around the land. That will even make it more secure. Okay, so that's about land and property. And physical business. Business is tough in Nigeria. Business is definitely tough in Nigeria because today, petrol might be, I don't know, 900 naira per liter. Tomorrow, petrol might be 1,200 naira per liter. And most businesses, you use petrol one way or the other. Whether you are commuting to your business location, whether you are running a generator, you need petrol, you need electricity. And all these things, their prices are not constant. So business is tough. But if you can find a good business that you can invest into and it does not require too much capital, then it's a good idea to invest in a physical business and still run it as part of your investment portfolio. Health insurance. Even though I have put health insurance as the last class of asset, but it is not the least. In fact, it should even be the number one, because we all know that in Nigeria today, the government hospitals they are not performing at the best level you would expect. And some people, they have gotten ill. Some people have lost their life because of some minor illnesses, which was not diagnosed correctly or which was not treated in the right way, or which people, maybe they ask them to pay 50,000 naira before they are treated and they cannot raise 50,000 naira. Maybe they ask them to pay 20,000 naira and they cannot raise 20,000 naira. And then they just stay, unhealthy. And this have effect on their body. So it's a very good idea to invest in health insurance. I think they call it HMO. And there are many of these companies or organizations in Nigeria that run HMO. They run health insurance scheme. I mean, I'm aware of some of them, and I know they are working very well because I have some of my friends and family in Nigeria that has invested into these schemes and is working very well for them. And there are different packages you can select from. Some packages may cost you maybe 70,000 naira per year. Some packages may cost you 100,000 naira per year. And some packages might cost you, I don't know, maybe 200,000 or even much more. It depends on the package that you want. But if you don't invest in healthcare insurance, don't be surprised. In 1 year, you may not be sick. And you will say, you see, I didn't fall sick throughout this year. If I have invested 150,000 naira in health insurance, I would have wasted my money. Okay. In the second year, you may not be sick. In the third year, what if something happens, you fall sick, and they now say, oh, they need to do operation or they need to do surgery, they need to do something, and you need a 1.5 million. Where is 1.5 million going to come from? Where is 1.5 million? I've seen people that do surgery in Nigeria, and the surgery, we are talking of 5 million. I've seen people that do surgery, 3 million, 10 million, 8 million. But if you invest in health care insurance and you've been paying your 120,000 naira per annum, and you've paid it for 3 years, nothing happened. But at the end of third year, something now happens and the surgery is going to cost 1 million naira. They are still going to do the surgery for you and you don't have to pay any money. And how much have you actually invested over 3 years? If you have been paying 150,000 naira, that's about 450,000 naira that you have invested. And now something happens, they are going to do a surgery that costs 1.5 million. It's very easy to say, oh, no, I'm not going to be sick. Well, we pray that nobody falls sick, but prevention is better than being sorry. It's the same principle with insuring your car, your motor, your car. Most people, if they have their way, they won't insure their car because they will think, oh, why am I insuring my car? I'm not going to have accidents. I'm not going to hit anyone and nobody is going to hit me. But nobody plans for accident. But if it happens, it happens. Then who is going to cover the cost? That's why the government makes car insurance to be important so that if anything happens, you are covered and the insurance will settle the claim. Anyway, so that is it on that classes of assets. So before we move into number 4, any question? Any question? Is everyone with me? Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody have any question or we are moving straight into number 4?
No question.
Okay. And everyone can see my screen. You can see the meeting agenda. You can see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, okay. Oh, by the way, that classes of assets which I've just discussed, I have, how do you call it? I've actually written something about it on the Smart Investor Telegram group, and it's quite detailed. I don't know. Let me see if I can click it and if it takes me in there for you just to see. And then at your own time, you can go back to that platform and read it in details. Whether you need a phone number or you need information, you can go back and read it in details. These are part of the information people are underutilizing, because on that platform, I think I started that platform, I think around August last year. And in less than 1 year, the amount of information I've put there is quite amazing. It's a lot, but some people read it, some people don't read it. Some people, they just come, they glance through, they don't write anything down. They don't download anything. They don't copy anything. They just come and crawl around and then walk away again. Fair enough. I've done my own part. So let me see if I can click this, and if it opens for me, then that means if you have a copy of this meeting agenda, which you should have, because the link you click to get into this meeting, if you look below it, you will see where it says meeting agenda. If you click meeting agenda, it will open up this same Word document which you are seeing on the screen now. It will open it up for you, and all these names that have links embedded into them, you can actually take advantage of them. So let me see if I can open this and we have a quick look. Okay, so open. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, can see your screen, sir.
Okay, what does it say?
You click on the link now, but it's not open yet.
Oh, okay. It has opened on my side. So you
no.
cannot see the write-up
No,
on
no.
a Telegram investor group. You can't see it.
Okay, let me go to the Telegram group and see.
No. You don't have to go there. It should open for you. Okay, let me share my screen. Let me share my screen, because when I click it and it opens that document for me, I thought you will see it automatically. But if you are not seeing it, don't worry. Let me share my screen so that you can see exactly where that link will take you to. You don't have to go into a Telegram group and be searching. If you click that link, I will show you where it will take you to.
Okay, sir.
Okay, can you see this Telegram information now?
Oh, yes, can see now.
Okay, what's the heading? What is the heading?
To all my friends who are beginners, intermediate investors.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So this write-up actually breaks down the classes of assets you can invest into. And I was talking to you about health insurance. So let me see. Let me see. Okay. No. Okay. This is the one about private pension. If you click on that link and it brings you here, this is the one about private pension. Again, you might not be able to see it, but I will share my link again and then I will show you. I will share my link. Just hold on. I'm going to share my link and share my screen. I say share my link. I'm going to share my screen. So this is the website for Stanbic IBTC pension managers. And this is the pension calculator. So let's say, for example, it will ask you, what age are you now? Let's assume you are, I don't know, let's say you are
40.
40. Okay. So let's say you are 40 years. That's your age. When do you want to retire? Give me an idea.
60 is okay.
60. Okay. You want to retire at 60. So that's your profile. And then, are you a male or female? Okay, male. If you are a female, we click on that. Are you all seeing my screen? The Stanbic IBTC pension manager.
Yes, we are
Yes,
seeing it.
Okay. Okay. So let's say you are a male, you click male. And then income, it will ask you, what is your income at this time in point? Give me an idea. What is your income? A guess, a rough one.
50K,
Anybody?
50,000.
50K. Okay. So 50,000. Okay. If your income is 50,000, we put 50,000 there. Okay. So contribution. What is your estimated monthly pension contribution? So how much are you going to be putting in every month?
10,000.
10,000. Let's say 10,000.
10,000. Okay. So we say 10,000. So you put in 10,000 every month. So it says your estimated RSA balance at retirement will be 5,940,000. So that means if you are putting in 10,000 naira every month from the age of 40 to the age of 60, this is your estimated monthly balance. Okay. Savings, if you are topping up that money or you are putting in extra money, you add it here. But let's assume you are not adding anything extra. You are just doing that 10,000 naira every month. Okay, so now the goal. What is your goal? When you reach your retirement age, do
Huh?
you want them to give you a 25%? Sorry?
Yes, we've had it.
25%, 25%.
Okay, so you want them to give you 25% lump sum cash, and
Yes.
then the remaining, they will spread it out for you. Okay, so lump sum, you click on lump sum. What is your desired lump sum? What is your desired lump sum? 25% of this amount, 5,946. 25% will be maybe about 1,250,000, something like that. But you can decide you want less than 25%, but you cannot take more than 25%. Now, the way it works is if you take more than 25, if you take less than 25%, you have more money left to be spread across many years. So you are likely to get more, you are likely to get a higher amount per month. So, okay, I'll show you two examples. So let's assume you say you want 25%, which is about 1,250,000. So 1,250,000. So is that 1,250,000? 1,250,000. Okay. So let's assume you say you want 1,250,000. Now you can read what is written here. You will be eligible for an estimated lump sum of 1.48 million and a monthly pension of 38,864. Well done. You are in the right direction in attaining your financial goal. You may explore other investment opportunities if you wish to exceed your goal. So this is bearing in mind, you ask for 1,250,000. You will get monthly pension of about 38,000. But let's assume you want them to give you half of this money. Let's say you ask for about 750,000 lump sum because you want to get more money per month. Remember, this lump sum, if they give you and you are not careful, you can easily spend it all within 6 months unless you invest it in something else or you use it to tie something tangible down. So let's assume you ask for 750,000. If you ask for 750,000, so how much are you going to get monthly? Oh, okay, hold on. Let's see. 1,250,000. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That figure is supposed to change, but it hasn't changed. So I'm trying to see. Okay, let's do it this way
I think
again.
I think you need to refresh.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Uh, okay, this is 150. So let's see if you do 750,000. 1, 2, 3. Right. Okay, let's see if I say you want 100,000. Oh, no. That's 1 million. 100,000.
That pen was a more at tackling.
Okay. Well, I know the figure should change, but I don't know what I'm doing here that the figure is not changing. But at least you have seen this website and you
Yes.
know how to get into it. So you can go in there at your own time and play around. I mean, again, for example, let's do one for the ladies. Let's assume you are a lady. Let's assume you are maybe 35. Let's assume you are 35 years. Let's assume you want to retire at 60. Okay. Let's assume your income is about maybe this is a monthly income. Let's assume your monthly income is about 500,000 naira. All these are assumptions because different people's circumstance is different. Or how did they say? Everybody's circumstance is different. So let's assume your monthly income is 500,000 naira. Okay, you are not adding. Okay, your income is a 500,000 naira, and let's assume you are investing 100,000 naira per month. Let's assume you are investing 100,000 naira per month and you are not adding anything extra. You are not adding anything extra. Now let's go to your goal. Do you want a lump sum or programmed withdrawal? So let's say you want a lump sum. Can you see the difference in terms of the portfolio you will build up? If actually, let's use the same criteria. Let's use the same criteria. So female, but 40 years, let's say 40 years, and you want to retire at 60, which is the same thing we did for the man. Let's say your income, you are now lucky, you earn maybe about 200,000. Let's say you are earning about 200,000 naira per month, which is more realistic instead of using 500,000. Though there are people that are earning 500,000 per month, but let's use 200,000. 200,000. So let's say your monthly income is 200,000. Okay. And your contribution out of 200,000, let's assume you are willing to invest 50,000 naira every month. And then savings, you are not adding anything. Goal, you want a lump sum of 25%. So 25%, okay, before we go into your lump sum of 25%, you can see that if you are putting in 50,000 naira every month, you have a bigger portfolio, nearly 30 million naira for the same period of time, age 40 to 60, age 40 to 60. So you built up a portfolio, a pension portfolio of about 30 million. So if you are taking 10%, sorry, if you are taking 25%, 25% will be about 7.5 million. Yes. But because it's not up to 30 million, 7.5 million will be slightly more than 25%. So let's just use 7 million just to keep within that 25%. You can take up to 25%, but you can take less. You can take 20% or even 15%. So let's assume you want them to give you 7 million. They are now saying you will be eligible for an estimated lump sum of 7.4 million and a monthly pension of 185,000. Can you now see the difference? So it's a case of as you lay your bed, so you lie on it. If you are putting small money, they will take it, they will invest it. When you get to your retirement age, they will pay you based on your contribution. And if you are putting more money, somebody putting 10,000 naira per month compared to somebody putting in 50,000 naira per month, it's going to be a big difference. So you have to pay it forward. Right now, you have to delay gratification. Some people, they change their mobile phone every year. Oh, iPhone 10 is out. The following year, iPhone 12 is out. iPhone 16. And you keep changing your phone every year. And these phones are not cheap. Some of these phones could cost as much as 200,000, 300. I know even some of these iPhone, they run into like nearly 500,000 naira. And some people keep buying those kind of phone. Some people, they buy Ashwebi every time. I'm not saying don't buy Ashwebi, but then you have to think of what is important to you. How are you going to prepare for your future? Because when you get to the age of 60, you probably won't have the strength to be going out to hustle like when you are 40, 45, 50. At 60, yes, you will still be physically healthy, but the energy is not going to be as the same when you were 35, 40, or even up to 50. The energy is not going to be the same. And can you imagine at the age of 60, you've done your private pension, and at the age of 60, they pay you 7 million naira. And then they now start paying you 185,000 naira. That's not a joke. And in addition to this, if you have now also put some money into stocks and shares, and your stocks and shares has also grown, then you can enjoy your old age. You are not going to rely on your children. If your children don't bring money, you won't even bother them. If they bring, it's just an addition. But you are not going to be taxing them. Oh, you have not brought my feeding allowance. You're not going to rely on your children for feeding allowance. If they give you, they give you. You appreciate it. You thank them. But you have to plan for your future. It's not easy to be able to save 50,000 naira every month from age 40 to 60 or from whatever age. It's not easy to be able to save 50,000 naira consistently for 10 years. Even for 5 years, it's not easy. But if you can do it, you will benefit, you will reap. So this is just to show you that don't focus on stocks and shares alone, because that's what everybody do. But people that know better, they put some money into stocks and shares, and they put some money into pension. This is private pension. They put some money here. Okay, so let's go back to the previous screen. Okay. Right. Okay, so this is where we came from. Okay, right. Let me go back to the meeting agenda. No, this is not the one. Right. Okay. So classes of assets you can invest into. So if you click on these classes of assets, it takes you into the Smart Investor platform. It takes you into the Smart Investor platform, and then you can read specifically about classes of assets that you can invest into. And it has broken it down. Capital markets, money markets, private pension, private pension, high yield deposit accounts, and other one. Diversification of your portfolio is very important as a smart investor. Remember that stocks and shares will give you accelerated capital growth plus annual dividend. Okay, and then at the bottom, it says, please do not put all your eggs in one basket. So you can go back at your own time and, read through those information. Okay, so we are going to item 4. Any question before we move on how to diversify your portfolio? Can anyone tell me the difference between investment portfolio and stock portfolio? Can anyone tell me the difference? What's the difference between investment portfolio and your stock portfolio? Please talk to me. Or does it mean nobody knows? You can always try, have a guess. I mean, if you are wrong, you are wrong. Nobody knows everything. Have a guess. Is everyone hearing me? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, because nobody was responding to me. And like I said at the beginning, we should have what did he say?
Interactions.
Sorry?
Let me try. Let me try.
Yeah, go on.
I think investment portfolio has to do with all those things that we do to increase our earnings, while stock portfolio is just one of them. We can also have money mutual under investment. We can have this private pension and so many things. I think the investment portfolio is a wider aspect, while stock is just one of those investment portfolio. I don't know if
Okay.
I'm wrong.
Okay. Well, to a good extent, you are right. But at the beginning of this session, I explained, if you look at this item number 3, classes of assets you can invest into. I explained at the beginning, I don't know whether you have joined at that time or not.
No,
Everything that has to do with your stocks and shares, that's your stock portfolio. You buy Jitco, you buy dividend, you buy Dangote Cement, you buy Seplat, any stock that you bought, that's your stock portfolio. But your investment portfolio is a bigger picture, which you need to keep an eye on. You have to diversify your investment beyond stocks. So once you have stocks and you are now adding assets in the money market, and you are now adding high interest savings account. So everything you see under item 3 is your investment portfolio. If you have a combination of any of these items, whether you have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, that is your investment portfolio. So your investment portfolio will include capital market, money market, high interest savings account, private pension, your investment into real estate, land and property, you have a physical business, and so on. That is your investment portfolio. And that is a bigger picture, which you should be focusing on. Don't just rely on, okay, let me just invest in stocks and shares only. If all you do is stocks and shares, then you have a stock portfolio, not necessarily an investment portfolio. You have a stock portfolio. But the moment you diversify into mutual fund, federal government savings bond, into maybe some money with a piggy vest or a company called Ladder, maybe you put some money into private pension, then you have an investment portfolio. Okay. Anybody else want to ask me a question before we move on?
Okay, sir. I want to ask a question. When
Yeah.
you talked about the investment portfolio, that's the overall portfolio. But if
Yes.
you're just dealing on the stock portfolio, what is the minimum or the ideal amount of money you can invest in the stock before that suffices to the investment portfolio, like the money market and the rest?
Okay. Again, at the beginning of this session, I mentioned something. I said the first thing you want to think about, because everybody's circumstance is different. Some people, their target could be to build an investment portfolio of 10 million naira. And when I say investment portfolio of 10 million naira, that covers your stocks and shares, money market, private pension, and the rest. You know your circumstance. You know your age. Assuming you are 40 years old and you know you can still work for the next 20 years, and there is a probability that your income will increase from year to year. So let's assume that you are 40 years old now and you are thinking over the next 20 years, you want to build a portfolio of about maybe 20 million naira. You want to build a portfolio or you want to build investment portfolio of 20 million naira. It's now up to you to decide, in my investment portfolio of 20 million naira, how much do I want to put into stocks and shares? How much do I want to put into money market? How much do I want to put into high interest savings account? Again, you may not know exactly how much you will put into your investment portfolio overall. But another way to do it is always start with the capital market, stocks and shares. You know what your salary is. So maybe for 1 year, you are putting money into stocks and shares. Over a period of 1 year, you've already built a stock portfolio of about 1 million naira. Once you have a stock portfolio of about 1 million naira, you might decide, okay, let me do a bit of a federal government savings bond, or let me do a bit of a money market mutual fund. For some people, they might think, oh no, once I've bought stocks up to about 500,000 naira, I want to diversify into federal government savings bond or money market mutual fund, or I want to put some money into piggy vest. So there is no, what's the right word? There is no exact amount you need to do in the stock market before you go into the money market. There is no exact amount, no. In fact, some people may even start with a federal government savings bond before they go into stocks. But the truth is very, very clear. You make more money from the stock market than any other place, even than, what's it called? Even than real estate. You make more money in stocks and shares than any other class of assets. You make more money. So it's a good idea to start with stocks and shares. Get it off up the ground, maybe to about 500,000 naira. And with 500,000 naira, can anyone tell me how many stocks should you have with 500,000 naira? How many stocks should you have?
And minimum 3 quality stock, good quality stock.
And maximum?
It's not be more than 5.
Exactly. So if you are putting about 500,000 naira into stocks and shares, it shouldn't be more than 3 to 5. And once you've bought those 3 to 5, then leave them, let them keep running, let them keep compounding. If you have any extra money, put it into a federal government savings bond or put it into a mutual fund. Maybe you put about 200,000 naira into mutual fund, and your mutual fund starts to grow on the side as well. So now you have about 3 stocks in the capital market, and you also have money in a money market mutual fund, and they are all growing side by side. And then maybe later on, you have another 300,000 naira. Now, the choice is yours. If you have additional 300,000 naira, you might decide that additional 300,000 naira, you will put a little bit into stocks and shares, a little bit into money market mutual fund. Or you might decide that 300,000 naira, you will put it into high interest savings account, because your high interest savings account can generate about 16% with a piggy vest. Your money market mutual fund can generate 17% with your high interest savings account can generate 16% with piggy vest. Your JITCO money market fund can generate 17%. Whereas if you put money into federal government savings bond, the rate has gone down in recent time. Now the rate is between about 12%, 13%, up to about 14%. When I invested in a federal government savings bond, that was, let me see, I think that was 2025. Is it 2025 or 2024? No, 2025, yes. April 2025. April 2025. I did 3 consecutive investments into federal government savings bond, because if you do 3 consecutive investments, then it means they will pay you interest every month. If you do only 1 investment, they will pay you every 3 months. I hope you understand that explanation. You do just 1 investment in April, they will pay you interest every 3 months. But if you do 3 investments, you do 1 in April, you do 1 in May, you do 1 in June, when they start paying you, they will pay you every month, every month, every month, until your investment expire or reach its tenure. And you can do 2 years or 3-year tenure on your federal government savings bond. So at that time, when I did mine around April 2025, the interest rate they offered was 16%. But from that time till now, the interest rate they are offering has gone down. But that doesn't mean you can still not invest into it, because each class of asset serve different purpose. So even though the returns on your federal government savings bond might be lower, it doesn't matter. Each class of asset serve different purpose. Your federal government savings bond serve its own purpose. Money market fund serve its own purpose. Stocks and shares have its own purpose. And it's up to you to now decide how you want to combine all these classes of assets. And again, I would suggest don't over diversify, because you can invest in a capital market, money market, high interest savings account, private pension, real estate. It doesn't mean you have to go into everything. You don't have to go into everything. But on the contrary, you shouldn't put all your money in one basket. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Oh, they said capital markets give the best return, so I'm going to put all my money in capital market. No, you shouldn't do that. But again, don't put your money into every available class of asset. Just think about 2 or 3, or maybe about 3 or 4. 3 or 4. For example, I did stocks and shares. in money market, I do federal government savings bond and money market mutual fund. And then in high interest savings account, I have a piggy vest. Put some money in piggy vest. And then in real estate, yeah, I have a couple of lands, but it has taken me years to get to where I am now. So after some years, you can keep diversifying into other classes of assets. But when you are starting out, focus on one, build it to a certain level, and then add another class of assets. Build it to a certain level, and then add another one. So if you start with a capital market, stocks and shares, and you build it up to about 500,000, then you can add maybe money market fund, build it up to about 300,000. Then you can decide you want to do high interest savings account, add a piggy vest, maybe put about 200,000 naira. And then those three, keep building them up until maybe your investment portfolio gets to about 5 million. Remember, investment portfolio includes different classes of assets. It includes your capital market, money market, high interest savings account. When you build that your investment portfolio to about 5 million naira, it's up to you whether you want to keep building the same class of assets, or at that stage, you might decide, okay, let me invest in real estate. Let me go and buy land, because investment in capital market, money market, high interest savings account, private pension, what did I call them? What did I call those investments? Or should I say, what is the difference between investing in all other classes of assets compared to investing in real estate? What is the difference? Anyone wants to give it a trial?
Real estate, you can see your investments is physical, but other assets you cannot see. They're more like paper money.
Say that again.
I say in the real estate investment, you can see your assets, like it's physical. But the others are more like paper money. You can't physically see them, but you can just see them like
Oh, okay, you are correct. You are correct. But let me use the specific term that you should have used. Real estate is physical assets because you can see it. Real estate, whether you buy land or you build property, that is physical asset. You can see it. But all other investments you do is classified as paper assets, not paper money, paper assets. Your capital market investment is paper asset. Anything you invest in the money market is paper asset. Whatever you have in a private pension or high interest savings account is paper asset. So
okay.
when you build your paper asset to a certain level, you want to start looking at having physical asset as well, even if it is just 1 or 2 land. Again, at the age of 40, you should be thinking of building your own house if you have not already built one. But again, don't be scared, because a lot of people are thinking, oh, if I want to build a house now, it may cost me maybe about 7 million or 8 million naira. But the way you should do it is, when you have the money to buy land, buy the land. Don't even think of how you are going to build it. Just buy the land and leave it there. Because once you buy the land on its own will continue to appreciate in value. The land you buy at 500,000 naira today, by next year, that land may cost 700,000. It may even cost 1 million naira. So if you have the 500,000 naira today and you are thinking you don't have the money to build the house, so you are not going to buy land now, even though you have 500,000 naira that you can use to buy land, but you decide you are not going to buy land because you don't have money to build a house. When you are finally ready to buy the land, you may have to pay like 1 million naira. So it's better to buy the land and leave it. Sorry, can you mute yourself, please? Can you mute yourself? Some people are talking in the background. Okay. All right. So as I was saying, let me go back to sharing my screen. I've muted everybody because some people are talking and they are causing a distraction. Okay, so as I was saying, if you have the money to buy land, leave it there. Let it just, appreciate in value. When you are ready to build the house, you don't necessarily need to have all the money. When you have money, you can just do your what's it called? Foundation. Get a couple of blocks, do your foundation. And then maybe later, when you have more money, start setting the blocks and raising it up. Do your fence and, gradually. But the main issue we are talking about here is don't put all your money in paper assets alone. Do some physical assets. And when it comes to physical assets, it's better to invest in real estate because physical business is quite volatile. If you invest in a physical business, it's quite volatile. Like I said at the beginning of this session, let's say you open a shop and you are selling spare parts, or you open a shop, you are a barber, or maybe you open a shop and you are selling electronics. If there is what's it called? If there is riot in town, you may not be able to get to your shop to do your business. If the cost of petrol goes up, it will affect your business, how you run your business. If the cost of petrol goes up, because that means you are going to pay more money in commuting to your shop to run your business. That means you are going to pay more money in running your generator. And this is where it is better to invest in real estate as a physical asset than setting up a shop to sell electronics, to sell food, to sell anything. It is better you do real estate. But if your decision is to set up a shop and sell clothes or sell electronics or do some other businesses in the shop, that's okay. It's a choice. Everybody have their own choice, and different businesses do well depending on what it is. Okay, let me see so that I will unmute you if anybody wants to ask question. So can you all hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So does anybody have a question before we go to the item number 4? Anybody have a question?
Yes, I have a question. I want to ask, to invest in the money market, which app is the best? Because
Right.
you advise earlier you advised if you want to invest, it's good to use one app like Bamboo to do all your investment. So I noticed that Bamboo don't have much of a treasure bill and the money market on it.
Okay. The first thing you want to think about is which area do you want to focus? Because I've already said it. Excuse me. You don't have to invest in everything. Oh, I want to buy stocks. I want to buy a federal government savings bond. I want to do mutual fund. I want to do treasury bill. You don't have to do everything. The first thing you want to do is, where do I want to invest? Okay, you want to do stocks, fine. In money market, which one do you want to do? Is it federal government savings bond? Or is it a money market mutual fund? Or is it treasury bill? You decide what you want to invest in. Once you know that, then the app that you are going to use will depend on a number of factors. For me, as a person, I'm using a Stanbic IBTC for my stocks, for my money market as well. And their app is excellent, is good. And also, their website is user-friendly. So most of the things you can do on their website, you can also do on their app. And again, there are two different types of stock brokers. Companies like Stanbic IBTC, and I've forgotten the names of the other ones, but companies like Stanbic IBTC, they are considered to be level 1 stock brokers. So they have a direct license with the federal government. But there are secondary stock brokers like Bamboo, Cowrywise, which other one? Give me ideas.
I invest.
Investor. So all those ones, they are called secondary stock brokers. They derive their license through affiliation with a major stock broker. They do have license, but they derive their license through affiliation. But you wouldn't know. For example, if Bamboo got their license through affiliation with a Stanbic, you will never see anything about Stanbic written inside Bamboo. But apps like a Bamboo, Afri-Investor, Cowrywise, Ladder, and the rest of them, they are called secondary stock brokers. But there are main stock brokers, or what I've forgotten the right name, but there are some direct stock brokers. And again, maybe we will get to a level where I will show you on the NGX website the list of all licensed stockbrokers in Nigeria. And you can pick your stockbroker from there. But again, even though you can see the names of all the licensed stockbrokers in Nigeria, but again, it is also a good idea to ask for recommendation because you don't know any of these stockbrokers. So you need somebody who can tell you from experience what the stockbrokers look like. A stockbroker might be licensed, but it doesn't mean they are doing everything right. They've met the criteria, they've met the condition, they will get their license. But it doesn't mean they are doing everything right. Some of them, their customer service may not, be the best. So you need somebody who can recommend to you. So for me, my main stockbroker is Stanbic IBTC, and I use them for my stocks, and I use them for federal government savings bond, and I also use them for my mutual fund. But when I did my mutual fund, Stanbic was giving me, I think, 15%. And I was with Stanbic for maybe nearly about 6 months or 9 months. And I've not left them. It's just that as far as my money market fund is concerned, I'm now investing with a JITCO because JITCO money market fund is giving me 17.18%, whereas Stanbic is giving me 15.5%. So again, this is where research comes in. This is where your intelligence comes in. Are you just sitting in one place and getting 15% and you think that is the best? Or you are doing your research and you're looking for who is paying more and who is paying it with a good reputation. It's not just about a company paying you 17%. Do they have the reputation? So to answer your question, well, I know Bamboo is good. Afri Investor is good in their own way. Cowrywise is good in their own way. I don't know whether you are the same person that asked me this question some time ago. And I did a research on ChatGPT. And ChatGPT gave me detailed information. And I posted it in the Smart Investor Telegram group. So anybody who is interested in that information, you can read it in the Smart Investor Telegram group. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. That's clear enough.
Does anybody else have a question? Anybody else? Anybody else have a question? Okay, I'm going to ask for your opinion. Should we do topic number 4 or continue next Sunday? It's up to you what you want. Should we do topic number 4 now or should we continue next Sunday? As you know, this is going to run for 4 weeks. We can't cover everything in one day.
We should continue
Even
next
if
Sunday.
Sorry?
Let's continue.
We should continue
Let's
next
continue.
Sunday. Because it's 2 a.m. my time here, and I have to wake up by 5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, we should continue next Sunday.
We should continue next Sunday. It's 2 a.m. my time over here.
Now there is a division. Some people want to continue, some want us to continue next Sunday. So how many are we? I think there are about 6 of you. So what does the majority say?
No, because we have to consider that there are people in a different department, different country as well.
Okay, all right. Okay,
let's continue next week.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, thank you all for your time. What I would say, sorry. Yeah. So what I'm going to say is, you all have access to this meeting agenda. Try to read it at your own convenience. Click on the links, see where it takes you. Wherever it takes you, read the information. If you need to write things down, write it down because that's how you learn. I'll show you something quickly before you go. Okay, if you look down here, item number 7, investment tools, stock analysis, stock bubbles, trading view. I have taken my own time to go through all these things to learn it by myself. Nobody taught me. Nobody encouraged me to go and learn it. At my own time, I've taken time to do my research and discover all these investment tools. Again, item number 8, podcast to follow and listen. I found all these podcasts, Nairametrics, Follow the Money, the Nigerian Investor, the Builders Podcast, the Billionaire Habit. I did my research and I'm following them, I'm listening, I'm writing information down. That is how I develop myself. And you all have to develop yourself. You cannot rely on me alone because I can only give you so much information. But you have to be building yourself in such a way that at some time in point, you too will become independent. You may still belong to my group, but to a greater extent, if you want to buy stocks, you're not going to be asking me, which one should I buy? Should I buy Okomu or should I buy Presco? Should I buy Aradel or should I buy Seplat? You have to get to a level where you can make your own independent, informed decision. That's the best way to go. Don't think that, oh yeah, he will always tell us the right thing to do. Nobody taught me anything I know. I just did my research, and at my own time, I devote time to be going to different platforms, to be listening to what they are saying, to be doing my own research. And then at a stage, I just thought, well, okay, if you know something and you cannot explain it to anybody, you probably don't really know it very well. You may know it, but you don't really know it very well. And that's why I always say that when you're on the platform, if you learn anything, write it there. It doesn't have to be something that I taught you, or even if it is something I taught you and you have gone to practice it, then on the platform, use it as a, what's the right word? As a practice platform. Explain what you have learned. Explain what you have discovered. Even if it is something you saw on a different platform and you think is a good idea and you have practiced it and it works, explain it on the Smart Investor platform. Oh, I found this thing, somebody said it, and I tried it, it works. That's how you learn. Because when you are trying to explain to people, you are reminding yourself, and that's the way you learn, you know better. You know better. If you know it and you can't write it, you can't teach anybody, you can't explain it to anybody, you don't really know it very well. You know it, but you don't really know it very well. You have to build your confidence. Maybe one day I will ask somebody, can you lead us in this kind of session? I'll just pick somebody randomly. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you
And
very much, sir.
let's meet the same time next Sunday. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, sir. God
All
bless.
right, then. Okay.
Good night for
Good
me.
night, everyone. Bye for now.